Good morning students, how are you all? Hope you all are doing well. In this video, we are going to talk about the next part of the chapter third, that is synthetic fiber and plastic. So before going to the plastic, let us see what all things we have already studied in this chapter. Let's have a quick revision of this. In this chapter, you have studied about the introduction part of the synthetic fiber. Then you have studied about the monomers and polymers. You have studied about all the things, that how the monomers are, the polymers and the polymerization. Then you have already studied about the commonly used synthetic fibers like rayon, nylon, and its uses also, in which all products it is used, the textile industries and all you have studied. And then also you have seen about the characteristics of synthetic fiber, that it is having very high tensile strength, having elasticity, it is very cheap. So these are things you have already studied. Hope you all have understood that. Now in this video we are going to talk something about plastic. So without any further delay, let's get started. So students, plastic, what does it mean? By the name itself, we can say that a material which is having some nature of plasticity is termed as plastic. But in this video, we will know about who invented it for the first time, what is a common feature of plastic, and what all things we don't know about plastic, that we will try to know in this class. So plastic, you can see that plastic, how it got its name plastic, it is because of its nature, plasticity. For the first time, the plastic was invented. We can say a synthetic plastic was invented in 1907 by a scientist named Leo Henrik Baekeland. It was in year 1907 when the first scientist was Leo Henrik Baekeland, was the person who invented the plastic accidentally in some of the experiment. He was experimenting for some other product, but accidentally he got a material known as plastic. For the first time, he never termed it a plastic. That material, he never given the term plastic for it. He has given the name bakelite. He has given the name of that particular material as bakelite, but due to its plasticity nature, in these days we are calling that material as a plastic material. Now students, you can see a lots of product these days around you. In your home or your home products, you can see a lot of products is of plastic. Why we are using plastic in that many quantity these days? Because of its some of its common and good features, because of its cheap rate, because of its high durability, because of its high tensile strength. There are lots of common examples that we are using plastic in this much quantity. So here are some of the examples of plastic, some of the products that we use in our daily life. These are some of the examples of it, that you can see chair, mug, pencil, your toy, lots of things are made from plastic. Now we will see the common features of the plastic. As you have seen in synthetic fiber, it is made from the unit of monomers. In the same here also, plastic is also made by the units of monomers. Only the difference is that the unit which was used in synthetic fiber is very much different from which is used in plastic fibers. Here I can show you one example of polythene. Polythene, here you can see it is a hydrocarbon where there is a molecules of hydrogen and carbon both. Here the monomer unit is ethene, and many of the ethene combines to form polythene. That is the polythene what we are using these days, that the carry bag what we use, it's made from this ethene only. The monomer unit is ethene, and many of the monomer unit combines to form polythene. Like this, only lots of different materials are there which is having its own different monomer unit, by which it can make a whole plastic material. Plastics are mainly obtained from the crude oil, that is the petrochemicals, means from where we get the petroleum products. The crude oil left is from where we get the plastic. Plastics are having some common features, like they can be molded into any of the shapes, they can be recolored, they can be reshaped. Any of the plastics can be heated to get melt, and after that it can be given any of the shapes. These are some of the common characteristics of the plastic. Now we will see something about the types of plastic, that how many types of plastics are there. In common, there are 7 types of plastics. These are the list of those 7 types of plastics. It is not in this syllabus now, but you should know what are the 7 types of plastics. In this time, we are going to see those 2 categories of plastics in which these all 7 types of plastics fall in. On the basis of their reaction to heat, plastics can be classified into 2 different categories, that is the thermoplastic and thermosetting plastic. Now I'll tell you something about the thermoplastic. Thermoplastics are those plastics which when heated they get soft. Thermoplastics are those plastics which when heated gets soft, and after it gets soft it can be reshaped into any other product. Suppose there is a one bottle of plastic, it is a thermoplastic. As soon as we heat that bottle, it will start melting, and after it melts we can reshape it, we can remold it into any other product. That type of plastic comes in the category of thermoplastic. Now there are some other type of plastic that is known as thermosetting plastic. This thermosetting plastic, which when heated it does not get soft, it is hard only, it does not melt whenever it is heated up, so it can't be changed into any other product. Once it is made, it is the final product, it can't be remade again, it can't be remolded into any other product. It is just opposite to that of thermoplastic. Second condition or the second point of thermoplastic is that it is prepared by a simple chain reaction, but it is prepared by a complex chain reaction. The structure of thermoplastic is linear. It is having a linear structure, but it is having a 3D structure. Here it is cross-linked. It is cross-linked, but it is having a linear structure. So here I am showing you some of the major differences of thermoplastic and thermosetting plastics. Thermosetting plastics can maintain their shape even at a very high temperature, and because of that reason they are made fireproof, electric proof, and because of that it is mainly used in electrical appliances such as switchboards, switches of the electrics, and the different utensils are also used in the kitchen where it is used. It is used for making the handles, which is fireproof. So these are the various places where it is used. Here I am showing you some of the products which uses the thermosetting plastic. In thermosetting plastics, the main examples are bakelite and melamine. Bakelites are mainly used for the electric appliances, and melamine is used for the kitchenware. So students, this was all about the today's class. Here we have discussed about the plastic, the introduction part, who was the scientist who first invented it, the synthetic plastic for the first time, that is in the 1907. After that we have seen about some of the common features of plastic, that it is highly durable, cheap in price, these all things. Then we have seen about the different types of plastic that I have shown you. All these things we have done in this class. Hope you have understood all about this. Now here are some questions that we have to solve. So here are some questions. Then the first question is define plastic. You have to define the plastic. Then the second question is list the common features of plastic. You have to list some of the common features of plastic. Then the third is the most important one. Differentiate between the thermoplastic and thermosetting plastic. You have to do this question and you have to reply to me. Hope you have understood about today's class. Thank you.